In a village nestled between rolling hills, lived a weaver named Elara. Her threads weren't just silk or wool. She wove with something far more precious, pieces of her own shadow. For the mayor, who always complained of the cold, she wove a cloak from the darkest parts of her shadow. A garment so warm it felt like a perpetual summer's day. The mayor took it without so much as a thank you, simply wrapping it tighter around his shoulders. For the baker's wife, who envied the birds, Elara crafted slippers from the wispy edges of her shadow. They were so light, the woman could practically dance on air. Yet, she only grumbled that they weren't as colorful as a peacock's feathers. With every garment she gave away, Elara felt a little lighter, a little more transparent. The villagers came with their endless wants: a hat to make a farmer seem taller, gloves to make a musician's fingers more nimble, a scarf to make a young woman's voice sound sweeter. Each time, Elara snipped away a piece of her shadow, her own form becoming fainter, like a watercolor painting left out in the rain. Her once sharp silhouette softened into a blur, and soon, her own reflection in the mirror was just a whisper of a person. She began to forget the sound of her own laughter, the things that brought her joy, the dreams she once held. She was becoming a ghost in her own life, defined only by what she could give to others. One evening, as the sun cast long, deep shadows across the land, Elara looked at her own. It was a pale, fragmented thing, barely there. The mayor, warm in his shadow cloak, strode by without a glance. The baker's wife, light on her feet in shadow slippers, danced past, lost in her own world. A profound loneliness washed over Elara. She realized she had woven away her very essence for people who didn't see her at all. They only saw what they could take. With a resolve she hadn't felt in years, she walked to her loom, but this time, she didn't pick up her scissors. Instead, she began to unweave. She went to the mayor and, with a quiet strength, unraveled the cloak. As the threads of shadow returned to her, she felt a comforting warmth spread through her own being. The mayor shivered, suddenly cold and exposed. She found the baker's wife and reclaimed her slippers. As the shadow fibers rejoined her form, she felt a new spring in her step, a groundedness she had forgotten. One by one, she went to every villager and took back the pieces of herself she had so freely given away. Some protested, some pleaded, that Elara was no longer listening to their demands. She was listening to herself. Back in her cottage, her shadow was whole again, dark and defined, dancing on the wall behind her. It was uniquely hers. She looked at her loom, now holding threads of vibrant silk and rich wool, colors she had long ignored. She began to weave again, but this time it was for herself. She wove a tapestry filled with her own forgotten dreams of distant mountains, starlit oceans, and skies full of soaring birds. It wasn't magical in the way her shadow garments had been, but it held a different kind of power, the power of a self reclaimed. Elara learned that the most beautiful thing you can ever create is a life that is truly your own. Her story reminds us to never give away so much of ourselves that we forget who we are. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more tales of self-discovery.